Say school. Am I live yet? Okay, good afternoon. And I would like to welcome you to the Institute of Divine Metaphysical Research. This is a school and not a church, and neither we affiliate with any religious organization. This school is a non-profit, non-denominational, religious, and scientific research organization dedicated to showing proof of the existence of Yahweh our Elohim and the operation of his eternal purpose, pattern, and plan operating throughout eternity up to this present day. This school was founded as a result of a divine vision and revelation which was given to our founder, Dr. Henry Clifford Kinley, in the state of Ohio in the year 1931. The school was later incorporated in the state of California in the year 1958. We hold branch schools in the United States, Canada, and certain other foreign countries. The Northside branch was established in the year 2007. The dean of the Northside Chicago branch is Dr. John Quakes, and the president is Dr. Brandon Walker. Now, in this school, we do use the true, correct, original names and titles for the Father, the Word or Son, and the Spirit, which are contained in the original Hebrew text. The true divine name of our Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and that was erroneously substituted with the title of Lord. The true divine title for the Word or Son is Elohim, and that was erroneously substituted with the title of God. The name of the Holy Spirit, whether manifested in or out of a physical embodiment, is Yahshua, and that was erroneously inserted with the name and title of Jesus Christ. Now, Lord and God are titles and not names. The Apostle Paul, filled with the Holy Spirit, tells us in 1 Corinthians 8 and 5 that there are Lord's many and there are God's many. But we now know that each Lord must have a name and each God must have a name also. Now, Elohim is a title, but unlike Lord and God, Elohim is a divine title which our Creator Yahweh chose for himself. Jesus is a name, but it is an erroneous name. A minor investigation on your part in a good dictionary or encyclopedia or even your cell phone that has Google on it, you will note that either in the Hebrew language, the Greek language, or the Latin language, do not have any letters or characters that will produce this sound made by this letter J. In fact, this letter J didn't come into existence until some 1400 years after the Messiah's death. So such names as Jesus and Jehovah are impossible renderings of the true and correct divine name of our Heavenly Father and His Son. Christ is a title just like Lord and God. Now, Yahweh is pure spirit. And in this state, He is inscrutable and He is incomprehensible. He is the ultimate source, substance, limits, and bounds of everything. Now, Yahweh is depicted on this chart as an orange and fiery colored cloud. Yahweh is not a cloud, for he merely chose a cloud to depict himself, since a cloud has no particular or discernible shape and form. And just as you see this orange and fiery colored cloud is bordered around the edges of this chart, and you see everything on the chart right within the cloud, so does in like manner the entire universe abides right within the pure spirit state of Yahweh. Now Yahweh, knowing that man cannot perceive of him in his pure spirit state, he took on shape and form right within himself as Elohim. Now, this is the Word or Son, a superincorporeal being. That means having the shape and form of a man, but without flesh and blood. Now, this form can only be seen in divine visions and sometimes accompanied by divine revelations. Later on, this self-same spirit manifested himself in a physical embodiment and walked the earth plane as Yahshua the Messiah, whom the world calls Jesus Christ. Now, there is only one name given unto salvation, and we must know that name. So the simple yet intelligent question we should ask ourselves is, what was the name of the Savior during the time he walked the earth plane? A further understanding of this name and title may be had by reading the preface of the holy name title. Now, also in the school, we teach by divine pattern of the universe. It's called divine pattern because it is Yahweh's pattern. After Yahweh led the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, he called Moses atop Mount Sinai and showed him this pattern in a vision. He later on instructed Moses to build one just like it in the wilderness of Sinai. Now, this pattern consists of a most holy place, and a court round about. Three compartments making up the one tabernacle pattern. Now, in this school, we show proof that everything that's made and operates according to the structure and function of this threefold tabernacle pattern, and nothing escapes the pattern. Now, in this school, we have 10 primary constitutional aims and objectives, and they are as follows. First is to help you find and know Yahweh, our Elohim, as he really is and actually exists. Second is to form a nucleus of universal brotherhood of humanity in Yahshua the Messiah without the distinction of race, nationality, creed, sex, caste, or color. Third is to investigate the unexplained spirit law, or so-called law of nature, and the power latent in man. Fourth is to encourage and promote the study of the scriptures, comparative religion, psychology, philosophy, and modern practical and occult science. Fifth is to extirpate current superstition, skepticism, and ignorance. Six is to learn, know, and understand the operation of Yahweh's eternal purpose through the dispensations and ages. Seven is to discern and avoid being deceived by Lucifer, the serpent, the devil, the dragon, or Satan and his demons operating the mystery of iniquity on earth through the dispensations of time. Eighth is to earnestly contend for the common salvation and faith which was once delivered unto the sons or children of Yahweh. Nine is to make known that Yahweh from the beginning ordained that there is no other name given among men whereby man can be saved, saving in the name of Yahshua the Messiah. And 10 is to inherit eternal life now in the kingdom of Yahshua the Messiah with the hope of immortal eternal glorification in the newer state. Our watchword is peace. Our slogan is to speak the truth. Good. Our prayer will be given by Dr. Deandra Stans.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And the scripture reader by Dr. Barron Taylor, which will be Matthew's, the 22nd chapter. After that, I will give one announcement. Can we have our prayer, please?
May we all bow our hearts and minds. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for letting us meet today safely. And if it be your will, if you would please allow us to hear the truth, the gospel, and receive our blessings, which is through your only begotten Son, Yahshua the Messiah. Those few words, I like to say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay, I'll be reading from the Holy Name Bible containing the Holy Name version of the Old and New Testaments, critically compared with ancient authorities and various manuscripts revised by A.B. Trainer Scripture Research Association and reprinted by Yahshua Promotions. This is Matthew 22nd chapter. And Yahshua answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how comest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then went out the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Rabbi, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of Elohim in truth, neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Joshua perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto Yahweh the things that are Yahweh's. When they had heard these words, they marveled, and left him and went their way. And the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Rabbi, Moses said, If a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And the last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7? For they all had her. Joshua answered and said unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Yahweh. For in the resurrection there neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not heard that which was spoken unto you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob? Elohim is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, testing him and saying, Rabbi, which is the great commandment in the law? Joshua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment of the whole law. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and prophets. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Joshua asked them, saying, What think ye of the Messiah? Whose son is he? They said unto him, The son of David. He said unto them, How then doth David in spirit call him Eloah, saying, Yahweh said unto my Eloah, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Eloah, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. And that was Matthew, the 22nd chapter.
Okay. All right. Only one announcement. Please silence all cell phones and any electrical devices that might disturb the lecture. Now, I don't know what to say. We only have one child. Would you like to make any remarks before we continue, since we only have one?
Well, let's see that without Jesus. Let's see if that one person has something to contribute or want to get up. If they don't want to get up, then I don't even see the kid. Oh, there you are.
It's
so short.
It'll be short because we really didn't get a chance to.
That's fine.
Okay. There's
Doesn't mean
no
we can't
pressure.
do it again.
But she wants to win the prize.
Well, she won it. She's the only child here. She won it.
I know.
Well, let's see.
Go ahead, young lady. It's all yours. Oh, no. Here we go.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, young lady.
That's a little bit too much.
We
want to hear your voice, not choking out. Here we go. All right, go ahead.
Okay. State your name.
Yeah, what's your
My
name?
name is Destiny Stansel.
Hello, Destiny.
Yes.
So the head is the most holy place, In the chest is the holy place.
I might need you to speak up just a tad.
In the abdominal is the court roundabout.
Now, what does Yahweh dwell?
In the most holy place.
Okay.
And Yahshua is in the holy place, and Moses is in the court roundabout.
Well, who? Moses and who else?
I forgot.
The children.
Oh, the children of Israel
And where were they at?
in Egypt.
And then they had to do what? Eat
They-
what?
They had to eat the lamb and put the blood on the door
Was it on the inside or the outside?
and the inside. So they had to put the blood on the door.
Do you want your brother to get that in the Bible?
Yeah,
Can you remember what script, what chapter?
no,
Exodus the
12.
Exodus 12 and 3. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a household. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof.
So they had to put the blood on the doors, and they had to cross the Red Sea to get out of Egypt. And so Moses led them to the holy place,
just the
the
what?
wilderness, and then they got to the Canaan land,
What did they have to cross?
the River Jordan, to get to the most holy place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
No, wait, not yet. The topic was what?
I don't remember.
Was it called, it had something to do with the lamb in Egypt, the blood. Did they do any kind of passing over or anything like that?
Yeah. To
Okay.
the Red Sea.
So they passed over through the Red Sea with the lamb in them. That's good. So you did cover it. Thank you.
So it's called the migratory track, remember?
Mm-hmm.
With the Passover in it.
With the the Passover.
Just want to make sure. Okay, great. All right. Give her. You did good.
Children's class. Children's class.
Oh, the children are cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Woo! I can't get it out. Okay, that's why I can't get it out. Boom. That's why your hair everywhere, girl. Sorry about that. Woo! That's my fault. I know how expensive that is. Now, I apologize. Woo! No.
I think you should at least do a little bit of something with the 12 chapters of the Bible. Try to, even if you haven't read it, but try to look at some stuff.
Feel like it or not? That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, no one.
We're not forcing anyone.
It's a volunteer thing.
Okay. She's not ready. I'm not forcing him up.
Okay.
All right. How would you want that?
Well, we're gonna
Yes, ma'am.
open it to a regular class if nobody else gets in.
She wants to come on?
Oh,
Well, then
okay.
come on in. She's doing like most of us do. Like Moses did. Bring them up. No. There you go, man. Oh. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I don't have a lot to say.
But who are you? You don't know.
I'm Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Hi. I don't really have a lot to say.
Just speak for Lauren, don't speak on the paper, just talk about what you know about Passover.
It's a kid, Samir.
Whatever you wanna do.
Go ahead. If you want your paper, take your paper. Don't want your paper. I don't know how you studied. We just wanted to hear what Yashua showed you, okay?
Well, I know that the Passover is when the death angel passed over Egypt and killed all the firstborn baby boys and the firstborn baby animals. The death angel was an angel that Yahweh sent to pass over the land of Egypt and smite all the Egyptians' firstborn baby boys. I don't have.
Can we get one of us get some scriptures? So we know that you just write that down there.
What happened with Moses? What did he do?
You're talking about how he led them out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt after the death angels killed all of the firstborn, all of the Egyptians' firstborn baby boys and all the firstborn baby animals. Pharaoh said that they can leave and take the children of Israel, and Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt following a pillar of cloud by day,
Fire by night?
a pillar of fire by night, and a cloud by day.
Mm-hmm.
What did they have to eat before they left?
They had to eat unleavened bread and lamb.
Why did they have to eat lamb?
Because after they ate the lamb, they had to eat it in haste. After they ate the lamb, they had to take the blood of the lamb and they had to put it on the rim of their door, so that the death angel wouldn't come and smite their firstborn baby boys.
I can read that there.
What did that lamb point up to? That who's the true lamb?
Yahweh.
Joshua?
Yeah, sure.
Because he was led to that cross, and he didn't, like, he was innocent, just like the lamb, right? Okay. Anything else about just think about it. That lamb pointed to who?
The lamb pointed to Yahweh.
Joshua.
Yahshua.
Okay.
I guess I'm done.
Good job.
Well, we got another kid. That's what we're on to regular class.
Oh, they did it right there. Dr. Kwame Stone.
And now it becomes an open session, so.
Okay.
got now in open session.
I can't fix this. So.
Pray.
Good afternoon. Pleased to be here. So I want to thank Yahshua for allowing everybody to come here and host up here gospel. His gospel preached. Been doing a little bit of studying lately, just reading some papers, and also been trying to keep up with this class. I've been watching a few other classes too. I watched, if you could go back, Southfield. They covered a pamphlet, and I'm gonna get the name of it wrong. It's like undeniable
Proof of the creation.
Proof of the creation, biblical science, something.
Yeah.
But that was really good. It's like 3 parts. It was really good. And like I said, I've been I had the chance to go and there's a lot of papers on that wiki site, and I didn't know, is like Lisa had mentioned something last class where some of the stuff it's not, you have to like type it in to find it. It's kind of hard. But yeah, I had the opportunity to go and print out a couple papers and read. But I'm just trying to lay a foundation for the next speaker. So this is a school. It's not a church. And it was founded in the year 1931, I believe, or
Well,
okay.
division was given.
But the division was given in 1931 to Henry C. Kinley, and he received divine vision. Because you got regular vision. Everybody's some type of vision, but he received divine vision from the Creator of heaven and earth, Yahweh. And he was a preacher already. But the thing wrong with that is that, it wouldn't have mattered if he was, whatever, Muslim or anything like that. He still would have been wrong. I mean, it didn't make him right because he was, a Christian. He was preaching whatever gospel he was preaching, but it wasn't the truth. And, Yahweh had to reveal that to a man. And he basically saw what Moses saw, and he saw what John saw. He didn't see anything different. But he saw that same vision. I get that Proverbs 29, 18, and 28, 19, something like that. Because people, and I was talking to somebody about this, and I told them that schools is based off a vision that this man had, and he was like, oh, some type of Jim Jones thing again. I'm like, and I went and I was thinking, in order for you to, if you don't accept that Yahweh can speak through somebody, you might as well not accept that he didn't give John the vision of Revelation, or he didn't give Moses that vision on the top of Mount Sinai,
right,
or at the burning bush. Gotta understand that. Let's get scripture right there.
Proverbs 29 and 18. Where there is no prophetic vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Okay. And also get I think it's Numbers 6. I think it's the 6th chapter. He talks about if there be a prophet among you, Yahweh will speak to him in a vision, or
yeah. Well, sorry.
yeah. So I'm just going back, like Isaiah 8 and 20. This is set often in the school. It says, to the law and to the prophets, if you don't speak to this, there's no light in them.
Right.
So I just want to go by the law and the prophets to prove that Yahweh speaks through vision to man and communicate, whatever he wants to communicate. So we got the one in the prophets over there in Proverbs over there. It says there's no prophetic vision that people fear. So, but while they're looking for that, just another thing about vision too. Like I was saying, you got regular vision. Everybody's got, most people. I'm not gonna say everybody. Pretty much almost everybody has, regular vision with like their eyesight or something like that. And I mean, you've also got like mental vision. I know a lot of people, when they first buy a house, they get a room or something like that, and they walk into it and, oh, I wanted to see this painting in this corner or this couch over there in that corner. And that's just an example of like a vision that you can see within your mind.
Yeah.
But see what the founder heard or saw was the divine vision within his mind's eye from Yahweh Elohim, and that is the same thing that was given to John on the Isle of Patmos and Moses here. And
I got that verse for
okay, go ahead.
In Numbers 12, I start in 5, 12, 5 and 6. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the meeting tent and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream.
So there you go. Yahweh's laying it down, the pattern, I'm going to call it. Yeah. He's telling them the method that he's going to communicate with them in a vision or in a dream. So, like I said, we got the founder seeing this vision, same one that Moses saw, and the same one that John saw. And he was able to, with the help of some other people, write that textbook, get that textbook distributed, and also have all of these charts painted and such. And another thing that he did, he put back these true and original names back within the text of that book. What you had before that, from that King James Bible, of this practice actually started with the Jews of replacing the true name with Adonai, which means my Lord. And then from there, it just became Lord and Yahweh, God in place of Elohim, and Jesus Christ in place of Yahshua. And see, the problem with that is that they were right to begin with. And when you substitute it or replace it, you got all this confusion. You got the multitude of doctrines. You got conflictions, things that might seem conflicting and such. And that was something that they just should not have did, but they did that, and Yahweh had to set that thing back in order. And that book was actually in the beginning of, it did contain these names and titles here, but he did put back these true and original names, Yahweh, Elohim, and Yahshua inside. And I kind of think of it like this: if if you were reading a book like Harry Potter or something like that, and you just kind of blacked out the names and the names and places of all the major characters, the book wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially if you knew that the guy's name was Harry and they started calling him Jeffrey or something like that. But essentially, that's what they did. And when you do that, I mean, we can no longer preach the unity of the Spirit. You got to come up with things like the Trinity, which is just so confusing in itself that not even the average person that can really even understand it. It just makes no sense. But the truth of Yahweh is really simple. So I want to go then to Exodus. Can I get the pattern scriptures? Because Yahweh, Yahweh works in this way. Yahweh, he's a pattern, just like you got over here at the top of the chart. It says Elohim, the archetype pattern of the universe. And you wonder why that's written this way. I actually want to go in the dictionary and look up father too, because another thing that was kind of showed to me, that really, and you can see, that, this is he did receive a true and divine vision. This thing just fits, you don't got to make it fit. If you've ever been to church or something like that, and you probably run into some situations where you're just like, oh, that don't make a whole lot of sense. And then you just got to make it fit somehow. It doesn't fit, square peg, round hole, you're just trying to force it in. But this vision actually fits.
This is the definition of father from the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary. A male parent, a man who has begotten a child, also a male animal who has sired an offspring. God sense, the first person, it says in the Trinity, forefather, one relating to another in a way suggesting that of father to child.
Okay.
An old man.
Yeah. Okay. Get the should be an etymology section of that.
Etymology.
And also hold the first chapter of John, because you got to understand that Yahweh came first, which is the Father. So you hold that first chapter of John, maybe read like 1 through 4, and then maybe jump down to I think it's 22 or 23. But it's going to talk about how nobody has seen the Father except for the Son, which was begotten by the Father. So, whatever you get first.
John 1 through 4. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh, and the Word was Yahweh. The same was in the beginning with Yahweh.
So, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh. So we got Yahweh the Father, and we've got Elohim the Word. So go ahead and drop. Okay, read 14.
And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
And also read, I think it's 22 or 23. It talks about how he was in the bosom of the Father.
Let's see here.
Maybe it's 18. It's in that first chapter.
Okay, yes. 18. No man hath seen Elohim at Yahweh at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him.
Okay, so we've got Yahweh in this pure spirit form. It says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word, so was Yahweh or was with Yahweh?
Yes, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh, and the Word was Yahweh.
Okay, so that's Yahweh and Elohim. It says in the beginning was the Word. So we've got Yahweh and we've got Elohim, and it says that that Elohim, or the Word or the Son, was begot of Yahweh. So I know I've got those pattern scriptures held. If you could go ahead.
Did you want the etymology still, Father?
Yeah, the etymology.
Okay. This is Father from Online Etymology Dictionary. Old English Vader, he who begets a child, nearest male ancestor. Also, any lineal male ancestor, the supreme being, and by late Old English, one who exercises parental care of another.
So that old English word Potter, that P-A-T-R. I gotta go over to the board. It really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if I just started just talking it and stuff like that. So I'm also gonna have you look up the word patron as well, because you do if you do it, you got to do some searching on this. So you got father, which is really descended from this word P-A-T-R. Am I right about that? Is it P-A-T-R or P-A-T-E-R? E-R. Okay.
P-A-T-E-R.
Right. And she's gonna look up the word patron. So this is how you got to follow it. So you got father, which comes from patron here. This is Old English and this is regular English.
Okay, the definition, online definition of patron. A person who gives financial or other support to a person, organization, cause, or activity. A customer, especially regular one, of a store, restaurant, or theater.
Just is there etymology there?
Yeah, let's go to that.
Because this word, that word patron is actually going to come from this word father there.
Right, you got the origin, the Latin's pater, which means father.
Right.
And then we have.
So the origin of the word patron is Potter then?
Yes.
P-A-T-E-R. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Patron. And pattern. Go ahead and look up pattern.
Okay, this is pattern dictionary from the online dictionary. A repeated decorative design, a model or design used as a guide in needlework and crafts.
Is there etymology?
Etymology, okay. The etymology is Middle English, patron, pattern.
So you've got father, Yahweh, the father, coming from this Old English Potter, P-A-T-E-R, which is a derivative, or it comes from the word patron, which also comes from the word pattern. So we've got Yahweh Elohim, the original pattern or the original father of the universe. So can you get those the pattern scriptures again?
Yeah, Exodus 25, 8, 9, and 40. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall you make it. 40. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount. And then we have 1 Chronicles 28 and 19. All this said David, Yahweh made me understand in writing by his hand upon me, even all the works of this pattern.
So we've got Yahweh Elohim, the original pattern or father of the universe, manifesting himself in a vision here to Moses in Exodus the 24th chapter. Where he sees this super incorporeal form or shape of Yahweh Elohim, who transforms himself into this intangible sanctuary, threefold intangible sanctuary, where he also sees these 7 days of creation. On the seventh day, he rested. There was the Sabbath. And he sees also the inner workings of this tabernacle. So what Yahweh is doing is proving to Moses that he is that pattern of the universe, which is this tabernacle here. So in order to understand anything about this Godhead or the supernal nature, you got to go back to that tabernacle. There's just no other way. This is what Yahweh showed Moses that he is. He is this intangible, this spiritual temple, and this is a definition of him. You can't understand anything about Yahweh in pure spirit, which is the Father. But if you want to know anything about the Father, you got to understand the pattern, and that pattern is this tabernacle here, or so. Where we finished that.
This is Hebrews 8 and 5.
Okay.
Serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of Elohim when he was about to make the tabernacle. For she said, He that thou make all things according to the pattern shown to thee in the mount.
Okay. So that this tabernacle is a shadow of heavenly things. It is an explanation of that Godhead or the supernal nature. It's going to tell you who Yahweh Elohim really is. So this tabernacle is most important. We talk about it every time, all the time in the school. I'm gonna go over here and let's just look at the steps. So this tabernacle has 7 steps, 3 compartments, and it was built exactly the way that Yahweh told Moses to build them. He even put his spirit in the workers, so it would build it exactly like that. So this first step, we get the gate. Second step is this altar of sin sacrifice. Third step is this brazen and laver. Fourth step is this door with the holy cup of anointing, where the priest was anointed at with this cup of anointing oil. You got this fifth step, which is the whole entire holy place. Sixth step, which is the second veil, and the seventh step, which is the most holy place. And the court roundabout, that's 1. Holy place, that's 2. Most holy place, that's 3. Yahweh, Elohim, and Yahshua Messiah. One spirit. Don't get that wrong. One spirit. I'm not telling you that these 3 of it is one spirit. Different manifestations of the one spirit. Yahweh, Elohim, and Yahshua Messiah are one. That's the unity. You can get Deuteronomy 6 and 4 and Zechariah 14 and 9. There are also 9 principal divine items in here. Got this altar of sin sacrifice, the brazen laver, holy cup of anointing oil, 7-branch menorah, or called the menorah, golden candlestick, which is a beaten work of pure gold. These are gold vessels here. This table is showbread with 12 loaves of bread, 6 on either side. It also had like a golden corona, which means crown, so it just had like this crown around it. And this altar of incense there, which created a sweet aroma. It would just, waft up into this most holy place here. 4 principal ingredients, and only the high priest knew those ingredients. Nobody else knew them. If back in that Old Testament, if you tried to offer up any strange incense, you died. And there's an instance of that with a few of those men back there. They tried to offer up some strange incense and they died. And you got this Ark of the Covenant here, two archangels sitting upon this mercy seat. And inside of the Ark of the Covenant, you had two tables of the Ten Commandments there, and you had Aaron's rod that budded, and also a hidden pot of manna. You get
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim is Yahweh a unity.
okay, and Zechariah.
This is Zechariah 14 and 9. And that day and Yahweh shall be king over all the earth, and that day shall there be one Yahweh, and his name one.
A unity. Yahweh's a unity. You know, they got something going around here. You ever drive by like a cemetery? They got one that's called the Queen of Heaven Cemetery, something like that. And they talk about Mary. Like Yahweh actually needed a consort. And this was a thing back there. I was doing like a little bit of studying this a while ago. And they had Israel back then had Asherah cults. And Asherah was basically, like, to them was a goddess. They got over into Canaan's land and they followed some of those heathens. And there was a belief that Yahweh actually had hope, basically, like somebody. And you just wonder where they got that from. Yahweh he didn't need no hope, and they're trying to perpetrate the same thing here, calling Mary the Queen of Heaven. But what they don't understand is, see, Yahweh is masculine and feminine, and principle. A for this tetragram, this four-letter word for Yahweh, YH, WH, the two vowels in there, A and E. A for androgen, E for estrogen, Adam, and Eve. And you got back over there in Genesis, the first chapter, it says that, when Yahweh made Adam, Eve was in Adam. Yeah. And he said, let us make man in our image, male and female, he created he them. And he said he called their name Adam. So Eve was in that man already. Just like this was, in principle, male and female united in male and female, just like how Adam had Eve in him, and that was, one body. And I really don't want to go too far into that, but there's just, especially if you want to go and, I'm forgetting the name of the paper that I was looking at, but he really, Dr. Kinley really goes into depth about that Genesis, the first chapter, and how people get that all, who's the us, who's the we, right. Who is that? And that's Yahweh. Mm-hmm. Yahweh, there was no other substance to make the creation out of. He was substance. He was that spirit substance. He didn't need any help. But I don't want to get too far into that. I'm gonna go back over here. So this tabernacle here has the 9 principal divine vessels in there, and this tabernacle is just like it is your physical body. If you want to look in the dictionary, tabernacle is going to mean body. And I want to get a few examples of that. I want 1 Peter, I think it's like or it might be 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. He's going to talk about a tabernacle in there. I know it's I think. But he's going to talk about a tabernacle there. And he's going to be talking about it in a way like he's going to be talking about how this tabernacle is your body. And I think it's another place in one of those epistles where it talks about how, if this earthly tabernacle were dissolved. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna need some help there. Sorry, I don't exactly know where they are, but this tabernacle is just, just like your body here. So just like there was a most holy place here, you got a most holy place or the highest region here, which is your head. And you got your cranium, you got your brain. Just like there was a cloud or a flashing of a cloud that would fill this tabernacle here. Your brain is just crinkled up green, white matter. It's got these things called convolutions. So basically, just all the ridges and impressions and stuff like that. And if you were to just to take that out of your head, basically, I mean, it'd just look like a cloud. It'd just fall apart. It wouldn't have any real shape and form. The only reason it looks like this is because it's encased within that cranium, and that's why it looks like that. But if you were to take that out, it's gonna look just like a cloud, And you've also got holy place, which is your chest region, your lungs, your heart, and the seven branched aorta here. And you've also got your abdominal region. You got the two kidneys and your intestines. And without any one of these parts, you wouldn't be alive. Nobody can survive without. I mean, you can survive without arms, legs, and such, but without one of these three parts, you're just not alive. So if you got any,
Okay. 2 Corinthians 5, we'll start at 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that which we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life.
Okay. And another thing about that tabernacle, it was temporary. Just a tent. It was a movable tent. They, as they moved around, those 12 tribes went and moved that. They broke it down and moved it around. And your body as well is temporary. It is a temporary shelter for your soul. And you've got body, soul, and spirit. You can't have soul or body without spirit because that's the substance of the soul and of the body. You can't have a soul if you don't have a soul, you're not a living being. Remember, Yahweh had to quicken Adam. He made him of the dust of the ground, but he still had, he had to breathe in his nostrils the breath of life. And obvious, the body, that's obvious. So without, body, soul, or spirit, or without your court roundabout, holy place, most holy place, your abdomen, your chest, or your head, you're just not a living being. And that basically confirms this unity of the spirit that Yahweh came, or was, existed in pure spirit for first. He transmuted in part into the super incorporeal form of Elohim, and then he came down in the flesh of Yahshua the Messiah. So that, that's confirming that unity of the spirit, that, you as, physical body is a witness. You're not alive without one of those three things, and there's no getting around that at all.
Second Peter 1, 13 and 14. Yea, I think it's meet, as long as I am in this tabernacle, to stir you up by putting you in remembrance, knowing that shortly I must put off this, my tabernacle, even as Yahshua the Messiah has showed me.
You said, as long as I am in this tabernacle, talking about his body. He's walking around in the flesh when he wrote that. He's talking about as long as I am in this tabernacle here, or this physical body, you're just not going to be in this tabernacle forever. You're not going to be in that physical body forever. And your only hope of having a mortal glorification is in the name of Yahshua the Messiah. It is not in Jesus Christ. It is not even in the name of Yahweh. It's only in the name of Yahshua the Messiah. So he says, as long as I am in this tabernacle. So that's what we try to get you to understand in this school, is that Yahweh, he works by a pattern, and he has a plan for salvation, and he's saving the soul, not saving the physical body. We all know what physical body is going. Nobody has, you don't know anybody that's escaped death, and nor will you ever will. So, you've got to come down to the school to learn something about your physical body. We're going to talk about your physical body a whole lot. We're going to talk about those scriptures. And you got to learn something. You got to be edified. Let me see here. I want to bring up one other thing, because I was talking to somebody at my job, and just it kind of as a testimony, just amazing how fast Yahweh moves. When you want some answer. But I was talking to him, and we had talked before. I think I had mentioned something about, we were talking about road trips a couple weeks before, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to Albuquerque, but I don't know if I'm driving or flying. And I told him another time, I talked to him about how we were in the school together. I attended the school, and he said, man, so what's that school about again? Like, what is that you going to go see? And I started telling him a little bit about the Institute and stuff. And but anyway, he started talking about scriptures and stuff. He said he used to attend church, and he said he actually had an aunt that actually went to Israel and started a ministry over there. So, but he has a whole bunch of problems. He just don't believe anymore. He believes in something that's completely different. But I know one thing that we were talking about. He said, he's like, man, and the whole immaculate birth thing, he says that's just not even possible. He's like, man, that's not even possible. And I had forgot about it. And then I think Sunday I was just browsing, bored, and I was trying to find something to watch, and I ended up watching the video. It was real edifying, and again, I think the next day I went and was actually, I had a paper in there. I hadn't read this one yet, and I started reading through it a little bit. And what I also did, I went on that website, that wiki page, and I was looking on there, and Yahweh led me to this one page, and I think it might be, the title of the page is like brain, if you just type in brain or something like that. And interestingly enough, in your cranium, you got these two openings, and they're called the hiatus fallopian, and that's fallopia is basically Latin for fallopian, and you've also got your fallopian. You got fallopian tubes, and that's female reproduction. And in my pages, it's talked about how it was, you've got that witness of conception from below, those fallopian tubes below, and you got a witness of conception from, and it's right there in your cranium with that hiatus fallopian. And I looked at it, I Googled it, and it is fallopian. So I mean, that's just a witness that Yahweh put there. And first thing that came to my mind was colossal ignorance and stupidity. And it's something that Dr. Kelly said a lot. And I understood then. I'm like, I know what that means now. You walk around, you can tell me you've been walking around this physical body for X amount of years, 80 years, and not know a thing about nothing about Yahweh or nothing like that. And the wind, you got it on you. It was just walking around with a red. It's like walking around with a red sweater on. Then you got it on every day, and then one day hey, you got a red sweater on. What? And it's just the witness is in you. So I really advise you go check that out because Yahweh he put it all there. And to deny that you'd have to deny yourself, which is just is impossible. So man, with that I just want to say if anything came through me, I just praise Yahshua. I'm sorry.
Next speaker will be the Dean of Northside Chicago Branch, Dr. John Quiggs.
Good afternoon. I am happy and glad to be here, and I was happy to see the kids get up and go through what they went through. I'm very thankful and give all honor and glory to Yahshua Messiah. That particular topic that the kids went into, called the Passover, I think that that's something that's not understood by us adults. And there's millions of people who don't understand that particular topic. The Roman Catholic Church, but there's millions of people who don't know what that really pointed up to. First of all, that particular, it's a feast day. And that particular feast day was not given to any other nation or group of people except the children of Israel. Now, with that being said, we could say that it was instituted, or the Passover was instituted. This was the first Passover that was given to the children of Israel down here in Egypt, as the kids went into, and showing how they had to eat that lamb. Give me Exodus, the 12th chapter. How they had to eat that lamb. Now, as far as I know, it didn't really say what age you was excused from not eating. It pretty much said everybody had to eat that lamb. If you was in that house, you had to eat that. And it almost makes me look at the fact that meant that if there was a father and a mother in that house, whatever the situation was, then, they ate it. They gave it to their kids. This is the meal of the day, kids. Eat this meal. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I want something else. This is the meal of the day. You know how people. You know how we are. I'm kind of picky. I don't want lamb. I had lamb the other day. Whatever. But give me Exodus. This is the meal of the day, which means that. Well, let's see what it means. This is how important it was to eat this particular meal. Now, keep in mind that Egypt was totally devastated. See. And this is towards the end of their sojourn or their stay down here. It's right around this time that the promise that was given to Abraham that his seed would come out with great substance was going to be fulfilled. See, that they were going to come out with great substance. But first, Egypt had to totally be devastated, as it said in Genesis, that Egypt would be devastated. Afterwards, he was going to judge that nation. See, and that nation was Egypt. And then the seed of Abraham was going to come out of Egypt. But before they could come out of that devastation of the plagues that were poured out, see, they had to have that lamb in them. Go ahead.
Exodus 12:1.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying,
Mm-hmm.
This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be the first month of the year to you.
Mm-hmm.
Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house.
And, you got to think about this. I mean, think about the conditions that were down there. You had death, destruction, you had darkness, you had trees being destroyed, animals, you had a lot of things going on. You had the Egyptians that were just freaking out. You had a lot of things going
a lot of things going on. And then there was a commandment saying that you had to eat this lamb. Now, while I'm standing up here, the first thought that came to my heart and mind is how, first of all, everybody had to get this knowledge, had to get this information, you know, and everybody wasn't in the same household. Obviously, everybody, they had different houses that they had to eat. So to get this information across, it had to be what? Word of mouth. See, and that meant that it was told, because we just read that actually. Tell it, speak it to the congregation of Israel. You go tell them, you go tell them, you go tell that. But you know that almost sound like preach the gospel. You go tell them, you go tell them that. We need this lamb. What are we doing right now? Eat the lamb, eat the lamb, eat the lamb, eat the lamb. That's what we're doing right now. Eat the lamb. In all the different schools, eat the lamb, eat the lamb. I don't care where they at. Eat the lamb, eat the lamb, eat the lamb, eat the lamb. I never really realized, that's a bad word. I never really seen that was going on down in Egypt. I'm just looking at, all right, put the blood on there. I'm not seeing how everybody's conscious of the fact, see, they want to be saved, that they had to do this. I'm not really, I never really looked at it that way, see, but now I'm starting to see kids class. See, I'm a kid. I'm starting to look at it that way. Go ahead.
And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls.
You see how they sharing that information? If your neighbors, hey, share it. You see, that's what's going on. There's some communication going on with each other. So go ahead.
Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb.
But you had to make your account for the lamb, and no one could eat for you. Everybody had to eat, and that lamb had to be looked at. It had to be inspected. It couldn't have no spots, and it couldn't have no blemish. See, go ahead.
Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
That's right.
And you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month.
Right, so they took it out on the 10th and held it over for 4 days. That lamb had to be inspected. Give me, what is it, Isaiah 53rd chapter? Yeah, Isaiah 53rd chapter. That lamb had to be looked at. And see, listen, here's something else too. They ate that lamb in a house. They did not eat it in the church environment. They ate it in the house and in their houses. To see, and this is how Yahshua is going to fulfill that. It's going to be ate in the house, not in the church. See, go ahead.
53 and 6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way. And Yahweh have laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before his shears is dumb. So he opened not his mouth.
That's right, just like that lamb down here in Egypt. See, they ate it in the house. See, and that lamb had to be ate. See, and it was to Yahshua's side. See, he was taken from pillar to post. See, he went to Herod, he went to this one, he went to that one, and someone said, "I see no fault in him. Let's just whoop him." See, they're looking at him. They expect that they're looking at him to see. See, and maybe I ought to get that. I'm sorry, give me Matthew's. What is it? The 19th, 18th chapter? I don't know. When he's just before he's on the cross, obviously, and he's.
Yeah, that's John. You're talking about John.
Okay, yeah. We know this it's in all of Matthew, Luke, and John, but. Yeah. If you get it, I didn't. Yes, it's in Mark 2. Whichever one you guys can get. I know it might read a little different, but because I haven't really read it, I'm just going in for a principle right here. So, and when you have it, just let me know. Because they expected him. See, and that's what we have to do. See, when we're in our chairs, we have to inspect you. See, not you, but the words are coming out of your mouth. See, look at those words. Examine the lamb. Don't take nobody's word for it. See, be it anybody. See, we have to, it's because every soul has to make their account for that lamb. See, and look, this is a school. And no one has to believe you. See, but you, have to make your account for the lamb. You're not going to be able to say that woman you gave me did that. See, that's not gonna fly. See, your dean or your president or your vice president or none of that. Nope, you won't be able to blame this on nobody. You have to have that lamb in you. See, go ahead.
John 19:4.
Mm-hmm.
Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto him,
Mm-hmm.
them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that you may know that I find no fault in him.
Now, see, the high priest at that time, see what he said. He told the other scribes and the Pharisees, you do error. Don't you know that one must be killed? See, he told them that. See, and why did it have to be one that was killed? Because see, all these lambs represented the one lamb who had to be offered up. See, go ahead. Go ahead.
Then came Joshua forth,
Mm-hmm.
wearing the crown of thorns
Mm-hmm.
and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the man. When the chief priests therefore and the officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him, crucify him.
Why would they say crucify? Because all of Israel had to kill a lamb. See, just like they had to kill Yahshua the Messiah. See, go ahead.
Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him and crucify him, for I find no fault in him.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Jews answered him, We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the son of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid.
Yeah, see, because he had a right to be afraid. I don't know if that was the one whose wife had said, "Don't do nothing to that guy." You know. See, yeah, that was the one because it was his wife. See, he was one in the dream. You know, because he pretty much said, "Okay, hey, maybe if there's a way out, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take this way out." See, but now they insisted on it. They wanted to kill this guy. They insisted on it. They had no choice but to do this, just like they had to kill that lamb there. See, his death, listen, his death was necessary. Just like the death of this lamb was necessary for them to get out of Egypt, his death was necessary for them to what? To get out of Egypt. See, or for and you know what? Give me Revelations. What is it? It says that he was crucified in Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt. 13:8? No idea. You know, I know it's in there though. It was crucified, and it makes you wonder why would he go back and call it that? See, because he's fulfilling. See, is it 13:8? I don't think so.
I don't think it's 13.
No, maybe. Yeah. Well, if you know what I'm talking about, take a concordance and just look it up, please, and let me know when you. All right. So they took that blood, put it on the 4 points, put it on the door, just like they put nails in his right hand, left hand, crown of thorns. See, and they also had they pushed him in the side. See, and they had nails in his feet. So you had that dip where they dipped the blood. See, in the pot or the whatever they put it, and then they put it on the doors. See, they didn't just put it on the door. See, they struck that door. See, inside of that door, just like they struck Yahshua Messiah. See, and his hand. See, the same way, in the crown of thorns. See, so you can see the same thing. Now we have to get it in there where he actually ate that Passover. We're going to get Matthew's the 26th chapter. The scripture doesn't went into it as well. We're going to get Matthew's the 26th chapter.
We got Revelations 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Revelations 11:7. I'll start.
Okay.
And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Messiah was crucified.
That's right. Messiah, the Savior, was crucified. And you know, he was crucified right outside of Golgotha. See, but he's comparing this. See, I mean, it's jot and tittle. See, you got to see his jot and tittle. See, and he came into 4,000 years, so he's helped over. So you got to see the same exact thing. So you got to see that. See, the whole thing was let the children of Israel go. Did they go on a 3-day journey? So his death, burial, resurrection. That's 3 days. See, phenomenal 3 days. So you have to see a resurrection. Just like you have a 3-day journey right here, you got to see a 3-day journey right here. See, phenomenal. See, been led by the light. See, look, Egypt was totally dark. See, just like it turned dark. See, when Yahshua side was what on that cross. See, from 9 to 12. See, and then from 12 to 3. Then it turned back light again. That was a phenomenal day. Yeah. See, a day that was only known to Yahweh. See, a day only known to Yahweh. See, that he was going to send his son. See, and it was going to be offered up on that cross. And that was a phenomenon. Then there was earthquake. See, why would it have to be an earthquake? Because you're seeing that sea roll back. And that wind that crossed oh man, this is Yahshua something. See, he's fulfilling exactly jot and tittle. Give me Matthew's the 20 26.
Matthew 26:1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when Yahshua had finished all these sayings,
Is that it? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
he said unto his disciples, you know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover,
Mm-hmm.
and the Son of Man is betrayed to be
Now,
crucified.
now you got the first and you got the last. See, because he ate the Passover. He ate the Passover before. See, but this is the last one that he's going to eat in the flesh. See, this is what is that? This is the last one that he's going to eat in the flesh. Give me He said, I will not eat it no more with you.
That's still the 26, 27.
Okay, yeah, that's right, Matt. Same thing. Same chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But nah, read a little bit more, but don't forget to go skip down. Because go ahead.
Read a little bit more down.
28th verse. Yeah. Well, finish with
about this fruit of the vine, correct?
Yeah. I will not eat it exactly. I will not eat it no more with you. I don't know exactly how it's worded. But I know it's in there.
Okay. Matthew 26:26.
Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead and get it. Go ahead.
And as they were eating, Yahshua took bread and blessed it, and brake it.
So this is right to the point.
And gave it to the disciples.
This is to the point. But do you know that Yahshua told them where to go and it was to a man's house? Yeah. So I need to get that. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
Go back to the fourth or fifth verse.
I like doing this because this gives me, really, I do, because I didn't study this, and that's okay, because I know you can bring it back to my remembrance.
Okay. 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they might take Yahshua by subtlety and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Yahshua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of time. So.
17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahshua, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
Go to the synagogue.
No.
Say that.
He didn't say that?
No.
But it's pretty. It's pretty synagogue. That's what the priest says, Go ahead.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house.
Wait a minute, at thy house. You see that? It was 8 in house. You see these, as the vessel said, these are houses. See, these are tabernacles. See, this is where you eat the meal in your house. See, and this is why they had to eat it in the house. See, what we're eating now is not physical, but we're eating the spiritual words of Yahshua the Messiah. See, so they examine that lamb. Go back to Matthew 26. I got to move. Go back to 20 down where you were at.
26. And as they were eating, Yahshua took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, take, eat. This is my body.
See, this is what gets me. This is one of the things I learned when I came in class. That adults don't know the difference between this and that. You remember how we were talking this and that?
Yep.
He said, this is my body. See, he wasn't saying that piece of bread over there, that piece of cracker, that piece of whatever he wasn't saying that. See, but you we wouldn't know that. This is a result of the divine panoramic vision. And I'm not going to say that I knew this. I did not know that. That I didn't even think to know that. Didn't care to know that either. Go ahead.
And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink ye all of it, for this is my blood.
He did it again. He did that switch. See, this is my. See, you got to understand what he's saying. See? But it went right over our heads, and because of that, that's how we get duped and tricked and deceived. See, because we don't know the difference between, and we think that since we're adults, see, not kids, that we as adults we don't even know the difference between this and that. So we ain't got no reason sitting down and boast about nothing, because we don't know until it's shown to us, until Yahshua shows us it. And then it had to be revealed. So, all right, so they ate that Passover. Now, look, I'm going to use this to save some time. This right here, they ate the Passover. They gathered around that table, and Yahshua starts washing the disciples' feet. So you got to see some blood, some water. Why blood and water? Because you got to have some blood and water. It had to go through the Red Sea. So you got to have some blood and water. See, and he washed the disciples' feet. He told the disciples, look, and he was washing the disciples' feet and said, you ain't gonna never wash. Peter said, you ain't gonna wash my feet. I seen you do all these miracles. You want to wash my feet? Nah. You ain't gonna be washing my feet. He said, if I don't wash your feet, you have no part with me. Hey, watch everything. Watch everything. See, that of me. See, and then you got Judas right there with him. See, and none of them knew or understood what he was doing. See, they didn't understand nothing that he was doing. See, and then you got the Roman Catholic Church washing feet right now. See, thinking that that's what. No, that's not what it pointed to. See, underneath your feet is your soul. See, they had to have their feet washed because they had to go out. See, how beautiful is the feet of him? The what? Preach the glad tidings. See, the feet point, take off the shoes because it points up to the soul. See, and Yahshua Messiah is preparing them. See, just like Moses, man. Moses had to wash the high priest, and it says that's why Yahshua Messiah is doing it because he's fulfilling what the high priest, what Moses did. See, when the priests went into their ministry, see. You know, they did. They watched it. And I'm just trying to see. I believe it was Aaron.
Yes, it was Aaron.
And that kind of makes me right away. You know, it makes me think. Wait a minute. If Aaron is washing his brother's feet, you see that? You see what's going on? Aaron is washing his brother's feet. See, Yahshua Messiah is washing his brother's. I mean, don't you understand? Because now I can understand it now. See, I'm up here learning now. See, because Yahshua Messiah is washing their feet. See, man. I know it's a fulfillment, but I never made that correlation with the brother thing. See, that's what I'm looking at. I understand the priest thing. See, because they can go.
Moses watched this.
Yeah.
I gotta read that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm up here. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Exodus 40 and 31. Actually started 30. And he set the laver between the tent of the congregation and the altar, and put water there to wash withal. And Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet thereat. When they went into the tent of the congregation, and when they came there to the altar, they washed as Yahweh commanded Moses.
That's right. And they also had some, I think you even had some anointing going on there too, but we don't want to deal with that part of it. All right, so you see that. So you see how Yahshua is fulfilling that, and see shortly thereafter he's going to be judged and been taking the pillar of the post, as it said in Isaiah the 53rd chapter. He's been taking the pillar of the post. And as it says, and look, to get these feast days, first of all, there is not a coincidence that the Passover is the first feast day. See, that's the first feast day. And the second feast day is what? Unleavened bread. And the third feast day is what? The feast of what? First fruit. See, so you got a death, like that's the blood. You got unleavened bread, that's a burial, because that bread has what? Not did what? Risen. See, that's a burial principle. See, that's why that brazen laver has a twofold function. That's a what? A burial. See, where they wash the sacrifice, and see, then the priest would wash up and clean. Well, that's a what? A regeneration. See, that's the point of that washing that feet. See, so you can see that has a twofold function. So you got the Passover, you got unleavened bread, but you got to have an anointing. So the priest had to be anointed. So Yahshua said he breathed on his disciples. See, you had to see them when they was walking around. He breathed on. Why did he breathe on the disciples? It's like he was breathed into Adam. See, so you got to breathe onto the disciples. See, receive that breath. See, and then he stood up. It's like when they received the Holy Spirit, they stood up. See, and went out and preached the gospel. See, it's like Adam. See, look, how did Eve hear about that? See, you're telling them don't eat that tree. See, so they went out and to preach the gospel. See? So you got to see and understand this is just exact fulfillment. How Yahshua fulfilled it. His death, that's the blood. His burial in Joseph's new tomb, that's a burial. He resurrected. See, he passed over from what? From death unto life. See, that's a Passover from death unto life. See, and then he appeared to his disciples. See, and said, feel the nails in my hand. See, they took, because Thomas was like, no, man, I ain't gonna believe it. See, that's where you get the doubting Thomas. I ain't gonna believe it till I see him myself. See, so Yahshua, he appeared. And what gets me all the time is how he appears to his disciples. See, through the door, not just through the door, through a locked door. That's what gets me. That would just scare the crap out of me. Because that's why we lock our doors. See, we lock our doors, and you think about what's going on. Always think about what's going on. They locked that door because remember, at this time, a lot of things are going on. See, if you say, I don't know him like Peter. I don't know him. Who? I don't know him. See, they were like, I'm gonna stay in this house because it's kind of hot out there. Lock my door. See, and he just came right on in. You see that? Just came right on in. Give me, I stand at the door and knock. If any man come in with and sup with him. See, that's what we're talking about. See, that's that Passover. And something else you need to realize and also understand that, see, in the corporeal, they're not eating physical food. See, that's something that's the one thing we don't have to worry about. We don't have to be eating physical food anymore. See, we ain't gonna have no physical stomach, but we gotta eat physical food. See, we're eating the words of Yahshua Messiah. See, I'm trying to get you to see. So we're eating the words of Yahshua Messiah.
Revelations 3:20.
But he had the power to take on, take off. Go ahead.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
Mm-hmm.
If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
That's right. See, he will come in and sup with him. See, now look at this. We always say that this right here, what is this? The fourth step is knocking to what? The door. Is that right? We say that's the door. I come in and sup with him. Okay, then if that's the case, then you better see some food in the holy place. Other words, what's going to come in and sup if ain't no food in the holy place? I come in and sup with you. So he had to do what? Have some food prepared. Now listen, prepared. And what's the food prepared? Do anybody know? You got some bread. It's table of shewbread. That's prepared. What are we doing? We eating. Give me 1 Corinthians the 10th chapter. What know ye not? Just I don't know. Don't you have houses to eat in? See, but you. Huh?
1:11 and 20.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. Yeah. Somewhere within there. I don't know what else. That's right. I want that as well. But see, it also is going to see in the 1 Corinthians the 11th chapter is also he's going to compare that body to bread. I don't know where that's at, but I know it's in there. I remember reading it. So, but in that he compared that body to bread. See,
First Corinthians 11 and 20.
Okay.
When ye come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat Yahweh's supper.
Or as it says, the Lord's Supper, or Yahweh's Supper. See, that's not the place. Go ahead.
For in eating, everyone taketh before other his own supper.
See, he's amazed. This is Paul. He's amazed. He's going to tell him something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And one is hungry, and another is drunken.
Mm-hmm.
What? Have you not houses
what?
to eat in?
Don't you have houses? We just said you eat in a house. What? Don't you have houses to eat in? Go ahead.
Or despise ye the church of Elohim? And
see, what is the church? Or what is the congregation? It's the body of Yahshua the Messiah. See, that's what you got to realize and understand. See, that bread, represents the body. See, go ahead.
And shame them that have not. What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this?
I don't see you looking for praise because you eating. See, I mean, I remember hearing on one of the tapes. I'm not going to start that because I don't have a lot of time. But go ahead. Let me go off. Go ahead.
Shall I praise you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. For I have received of Yahweh that which also I delivered unto you. That Yahshua the Messiah, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you.
So you got to realize, see, if we had the time, we could actually go into what is his body. See, and I know it's in there somewhere. It talks about that bread being body, and maybe that was it. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. Let's do it this way. You give me Ephesians. Give me Ephesians.
Okay. You want me to read 29 right after this?
Go ahead.
Okay. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning Yahshua.
That's right. See, that's what you got to do. We got to discern his body. How you gonna discern his body? See, his body is not. His body is not a physical body. See, it's made up. See, it's made up of the souls of men. We can't go into the blood that was in the cup. Now I'm up here. All of it's coming back to me now. Can't go through the blood of the cup because that's the New Testament. See, that's the blood what it represents. See, the New Testament. See, it had to be a shed in the blood for that inheritance. You can't get your inheritance, and now that's the father or your relative or your friend or somebody got to die so you can get your inheritance. See, it has to be a shedding of blood. See, go ahead. Yeah, give me that. That's 6 chapter.
Let's, yeah, 6 and 35, and then we'll jump down.
Okay.
And Yahshua said unto them, I am the bread of life.
Mm-hmm.
He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst.
So you eat this bread, so you should never hunger. You should never thirst. See, now we know that it might be bitter to you. See, but if you just eat it, see, you will understand. See that Yahshua Messiah's body. Now give me Ephesians, the 5th chapter, like maybe the 26th verse. I'm not sure where is that. 26, 28, 34, or something like that. I don't know. 5th chapter of Ephesians. I know it's there though. It talks about the body, but you're gonna understand. And then also it says that there's one body. See, and one baptism. See. So go ahead.
Start with
25. Yeah, start with 25.
Of chapter.
Ephesians 5.
It'll
Sorry,
jump down to 30.
so 5 and 25 and jump down to 30.
Ephesians 5:25.
Mm-hmm.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Messiah also loved the assembly and gave himself for it,
Mm-hmm.
that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
See, it's all fitting. Washing the water, that's the water, the word, the body. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word,
Mm-hmm.
that he might present it to himself a glorious assembly,
Mm-hmm.
not having spot or
Mhm.
wrinkle or any such thing.
See that? Can't you understand that body? See, we're a part of his body, just like Adam was Eve was a part of Adam. See, bone of his bones. See, flesh of his flesh. See, that's it. See, we make up that body. See, and what needs to be ate right now is through. And this is the deep thing. You might not understand what I'm saying to you. This is a deep thing because what we're trying to get across to you is that Yahshua Messiah has a body preaching the gospel. And that's what's happening. See, and go ahead.
But that it should be holy and without blemish.
Mm-hmm.
So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies.
That's right. And why is that? Wait a minute. What's without blemish?
The body.
Wait a minute. The lamb was without blemish.
Yeah.
So we make up that body.
Mm-hmm.
See, without. And see, remember, he said he's going to cleanse you. Now, you don't go thinking you special because Yahshua Messiah is what makes you, what cleanses you. See, that's your righteousness. See, and that's why when Yahshua Messiah resurrected, he didn't resurrect by himself. See, but he resurrected. See, that's it says in Ezekiel the 37th chapter. Bone of his bone came together. See, he resurrected with a body. Him being the first fruit.
Yeah.
See, and then the body resurrected with him. See, and the body was presented to him, just like Eve was presented to Adam.
Yeah.
So you got to see that body being presented. Look, at that time, now watch what I'm saying. At that time, I guarantee you that woman had no spots.
Yeah.
You see that? See, as Doc said, we got to get that woman back in the man. See, that's what Yahshua said, putting the woman back in the man. What man? Yahshua the Messiah. See, the second half, putting him. See, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh.
Read 5 and 30.
Go ahead.
5 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
For we are members of his body,
Mm-hmm.
of his flesh,
Thank you.
and of his bones.
That's it. See, same thing. Thank you. We just read it, right? All right. So now we got to do it real quick. Now look. So that's a Passover from death unto life. See, the newborn. See, that remember they had manna out here in the wilderness. It was the newborn that passed from what? From out of here from the wilderness into what? Into Canaan's land.
Yeah.
See, so they crossed that veil of the flesh. See, and they went on over to Canaan's land. Now remember, all while they was out here in the wilderness. See, y'all just say, you eat this bread, you should never die. See, because they wanted him to produce some bread. See, but they said, you eat this bread, you should never die. All while they was out here in the wilderness, they ate that bread like that bread had to be replaced. See, every 7 days it had to be replaced. See, do some research. See, in that holy place. See, and look, they had to eat that bread, but while they was out here in the wilderness, so when they came over and crossed over that bread, that manna, it ceased. See, why would that manna cease? The cloud disappeared. Why is these things taking place? Because now it's what? Within you, that veil is rent, see, off your heart and off your mind. See, now he's in you. See, that cloud is no longer floating on the what? In front of you, on the side of you. Now it's what? It's in you. See, and that's what Yahshua told his disciples. Look, I must go away. I mean, what? Can become in you. See, and that's what he did. See, that cloud, see, filled their house where they were sitting. See, and then they went out and preached the gospel. And when they're doing that, they're doing what? They're sharing the bread. See, they're sharing the lamb. See, that's what they're doing. And they're putting the blood on everybody's head. See, and that's what's been taking place. Now watch this. See. Look, so we got that there. So now we got some examples of Passover. See, we see that, look, it was a meal, and it's always a meal.
Yeah.
It's always a meal. So they ate their way out of Egypt. Look, they're going to eat their way down into hell. See?
Right.
Yep, that's right. They're eating their way down into hell. See? When they ate that, see, that started that, see, there you go. Got to be a meal. See, but before they ate that physical meal, they got to what? Adam had to do what? Eat the words.
Yeah.
See, it's the words that really brought it down.
Yeah.
See, but then you got a physical reflex. See, so you see it down there. And you know, listen to this. See, we are a reflection of that body. See, we represent that body down here. But you're going to really see the real body of Yahshua Messiah.
Yeah.
See, when this flesh is taken off, you're going to see the real body. You're going to see who was really, truly eating the Passover. See, now watch. But Noah receives that vision before he even have any kids. Noah receives that vision. Then they build that ark. Before they finish that ark, he's preaching the gospel. Or they doing what? Eating the Passover. Look, you eat this bread, you can pass over from this flooded earth. Because Yahweh was extremely angry with the wicked. And I know I shouldn't do this, I'm going to do it anyway. Put a rainbow up there.
Oh, yeah.
No, I shouldn't do it.
That's a couple.
That's a covenant, not as a sign of gay and lesbian, but as a rainbow, as a promise. See, so don't corrupt it. See, it is between mankind. But the funny thing about that, see, he put man and woman in that boat. So he knew that he was going to repopulate, and he knew that it was. Yeah, I'm going off on the deep end, but anyway, true. But yeah, don't want to go in the deep end. Anyway. So that means that when they got into that ark, first of all, they had to have something to eat. See, just like they ate right out here in the wilderness. When Adam was placed in the garden and Eve was placed in the garden, they couldn't be getting ready to eat. They had to have some food in there. So that means that, see, look, that when that baby, see, that fetus, because feed us, see, that baby's being what? Fed, see, and nourished and taken care. And see, that's taking place right there. See, just like it takes place right here. See, that baby's being fed. See, you can see how it points up to that's a Passover. See, and look, when we are born, see, we pass over. See, from out of our mother, see, into the world. See, what a cruel world this is.
Yeah.
I'm learning that more and more now. What a cruel world this is. So you want to pass. You can't go back up to your mother's womb, but you got to be born again. See, but you want to get out of here. See, so you want to pass over out of this. See, then somebody say, "What you ready to die?" See, look, see, this when they went in there, they stayed in there for 7 days. Ah, man, I'm telling you, this is so crazy. They had to stay in there for 7 days. See, look, we just waiting. See, when the vengeance of Yahweh is poured out, where you're going to see how Yahweh's wrath is going to be poured out on mankind. See, but you should have no fear because you should be resting in that ark, already resting. See, if you were not in that ark, now this makes sense. They were in the ark before it rained, so you need to be in that ark. Listen, you need to be in that ark before the wrath of Yahweh is poured out.
Yeah.
See, so while you in there, you eating the Passover.
Yeah.
You're eating. That's right. You're eating the Passover. See, you can see the same thing right here. Yahweh prepared his own sacrifice. Yeah. See, Abraham offered him up in his mind, offered Isaac up in his mind. See, but the Yahweh said, look, he caught a ram in the thicket. See, because he's showing out, look, Abraham had to offer up his only son. See, not the son from somebody else, but from, what's his wife's name? Rebecca or somebody? I don't know. See, help me out, guys. Sarah? Okay, thanks. Had to offer up, look, see, to show you that, look, that son had to be offered up. See, why would Abraham offer up his only son? Because this points up to the Passover right here, folks. This is the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. See, this is the lamb slain. See, when this lamb is slain, see, then he creates a creation. See, so you see, you got to have a death, a burial. You got to have a resurrection. Where's the resurrection? He's giving everything life. That's it. He's giving everything life. If there's any life, see, he's in everything and giving it physical life. Death, a burial, a resurrection. So you have to see that. That's that father. Abraham is like unto what? Like unto Yahweh. You got Isaac, see, like unto Elam, that's being offered up, or that lamb slain. It's also like unto what? Yahshua the Messiah, that lamb that was slain. See, you see the same thing with the children of Israel. See, I got a few minutes. The lamb that was slain. See, down here, they had to offer up that lamb. See, and how, the time won't allow, but all while this was happening, you got to think about this too. See, they had Joshua, the son of Nun, down there.
That's right.
See, that hidden down there. See, he's hidden down here now. See, but he's in vessels.
Yeah.
See, and everybody don't know it. See, everybody don't know it. See, everybody can't see it. See, we're not worshiping a man. See, but he's got to be what? In us. See, we got to, see, if he's in us, we got to take him over with us. See, we can't get on the other side and say, whoops, I didn't eat the lamb. Nope. Can't do it that way. It's got to be what? In you. See, and everybody, well, here's an example of what happens if you go over and you don't have a lamb in you. Give me Exodus the 14th chapter, when the Egyptians, when they went over. See, they went over dead. See, they didn't have a lamb in them. See, you got to have that lamb in you so you can go over what? Alive and not dead. See, I don't know. Well,
The guy wasn't close to wedding.
yeah, the wedding garment. Exactly.
It's right there.
Yeah. Well, we can get that too. We got five. Let's get that. Yeah. Because that was a feast.
Yeah.
That was a feast.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so pretty. And it was a feast. And look, they had you don't make excuses, folks. And I got a wife I gotta try out. I got a horse I gotta try out. What are you talking about? You need to be, you know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Exodus 14 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left, down to 27.
Yep.
And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it. And Yahweh overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them. There remained not so much as one of them.
You see that? See, they washed the shore dead. So you don't want to go on the other side dead. See, now you might not know what I'm talking about, but if this is gonna fit, then I gotta find four. I gotta find a four. So I got a four right here. This is the fourth age, and I gotta go over here and I gotta find a four. See, I got a four right here. See, we get ready to go into what? The fifth age. See, I gotta find a four right here. This is the Red Sea, the door. So they going on over. See, they went over alive, they just went over dead. That's it. It's just that simple. Go ahead. Read whatever they tell you to read.
Okay. And what was that?
30.
Okay, 30. Thus Yahweh saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore.
Saw them dead on the seashore. See, so folks, we don't want to go, because look, this is a sure thing. Everybody's going over. You're either going to go over dead or you're going to go alive. The difference is you have made a Passover already and you have the lamb in you. See, and you've been told to eat the lamb. See, that's the difference. Now, give me that marriage feast real quick. I got 3 minutes. Well, actually, what I got? 8 minutes.
Okay, so
but give me that.
All right, Matthew 22 and 1. And Yahshua answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding.
Now, listen to this, because this is what this is. See, you're a servant, I'm a servant, they're servants, we're servants. And what are we doing? See, we either going out there bidding people to come to the marriage, or we even been told to come to the marriage. Get this part straight. Go ahead.
And to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come.
See, wow, no, I can't come today. I don't have time today. I can just find your own excuse. John 1:19-20. There ain't no excuse. Go ahead.
Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen, my fatlings are killed.
He prepared everything. See, it's a prepared meal. See how great he is? But prepared. I told you when they went up there, prepared meal. It wasn't, look, go ahead.
And all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it,
and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard
And
thereof,
that's you too. You go to somebody and tell them, who was just on the floor? You were just on the floor. Go to your friend, tell them about the teaching.
What is that, Jim Jones?
Yeah, Jim Jones. See, that's like slap.
Yeah.
You know, treat you any kind of way. See, they don't realize who and what they really doing. See, but this is real today. Go ahead.
but when the king heard thereof, he was wroth and sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye
See,
find.
this is the last seconds. Well, I don't know what this is, but this is whatever you want to call it. Time is almost up. Go ahead.
As many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage.
So now it's like what? Just go tell everybody. Put it out there on YouTube. Just put it everywhere. See, that's why you got people all over the place listening to these things. Just put it out there on YouTube. Listen to YouTube. This is it. We're putting it out there. See, the feast. Come eat. See, if you can't get to a class, tune in to YouTube. Do some study. Do some read. Do whatever you got to do. Blow the trumpets. This thing is serious. You got to have this lamb in you. And folks, you never know when you won't be able to come to class. There's something can't even come to class. You never know that you say that I'm all this, I'm a bag of Doritos. That's what you might say about yourself. Then one day you're working just to stay alive. You understand what I'm saying? Wow. Now, don't talk about nobody. See, because people, they do work. And Yahweh knows the intent and motivation of their heart. He come out of class, put them in class. You got to understand what's being said here. See, he's judging. See, he's looking at what's in you, not your outside appearance. And I'm going to say this real quick, too. A lot of times we don't realize this, see, but Yahweh is making us ready. See, in Revelation 12th chapter, it says he's making that woman fit. See, he's making you ready. See, because you ain't ready, see, when you first came in, when you first was teaching. So he got to do what? Wash you, as Ezekiel the 16th chapter. Wash you and make you clean. He's got to what? Make your heart and your mind clean. Wash your soul, clean the bottom of your feet. See, get you ready to be presented and how you can have on that wedding garment. Because if not, you're going to be just like this right here. Going to come into that thing without the wedding garment. Go ahead.
11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
See, every time you won't have what excuse are you going to offer it up? That's how serious. What that woman you gave me did it. Why am I saying that? That woman you gave me did it. Because look, you understand what's really being said. That woman is the Roman Catholic Church, it's the Buddhist, it's the Hindu, it's the whatever. They're all women. See, that woman you gave me. No, that ain't you. Ain't got no excuse.
Right.
Everybody had to have that lamb in them. Yeah. Go ahead.
Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
You see that? Weeping and gnashing. All because we didn't eat the lamb. Because we didn't pass from death into life when we had an opportunity to. See, we all made excuses. See, Yahweh's not going to accept our excuse. See, and I'm saying this in such a way. See, lately I've been looking at this more like I can't boast. The only reason I'm able to study because Yahweh has put it in my heart, and that right there, I'm really beginning to see. Listen, if he didn't put it in my heart to study, I wouldn't study. If he didn't put it in my heart to come to class, I wouldn't come to class. I strongly believe that you should ask Yahshua Messiah to give you the desire to study, to give you the desire to come to class. See, to help you to come to class when you can. That's all we're saying. See, look, folks, if you can't come 14 times out of a month, see, then you should at least be able to come 4 times out of a month. Try to come. Try to make it down here. Yeah. See, it's worth it. See, it's worth you making this effort. See, I really believe it. It's worth you making that effort. But the only way I can see that is Yahshua showed it to me. And I just hope he just keep me in class. That's been my prayer. You know, I asked for a whole bunch of stuff. I'm glad he don't do those things. Just keep me in class. I'm crazy as I don't know what. And just hope he keeps me in class. But all that honor and glory goes to Yahshua, our saving King. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And that concludes class for today. I do have a few announcements. On the board, information on the Lansing July 20th barbecue cutoff. All right, if there are no other announcements, let us all stand that we might be dismissed. Now unto him who is able to keep you from falling, and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise Elohim, our Savior, through Yahshua the Messiah, our Sovereign, belong glory and majesty, dominion and power, both for all times, now and forever. Let us all say,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.